Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yoshvei tevel b'imeru amen ve'oseh shalom Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yoshvei tevel b'imeru amen ve'imeru amen ve'imeru amen and may we find peace, and may we find peace, and may we find peace, amen, and may we find love, and may we find love, and may we find love, amen, 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 amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yoshvei tevel b'imeru amen ve'imeru amen ve'imeru amen ve'imeru amen and may we find peace, and may we find peace, and may we find peace, amen, and may we find love, and may we find love, and may we find love, amen, 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 amen,
שים שלום, טובה וברכה.
Area that doesn't need green grass.
Okay, this is Husky.
Okay.
And it just
Shabbat shalom.
here, you take first ending, go back. Second ending, go
Hello, hello. Shabbat shalom.
I'll answer you. Shabbat shalom.
Can people hear me?
You go on.
No? Yes? Yes, you can in the back, Marla? Okay.
Oh, we go back to
Say
we go
yeah.
back to the beginning, and then
Do you want me to talk?
go back to here, and then we go.
All right. Welcome, everyone. It's actually getting comfortable out now, which is lovely. It was actually still hot during our family service, which was, the sun was right in my face, you know, it was one of those things. So it's good to be here with you and to see those of you who are here in person, to see you face to face. And for those of you who are with us on Facebook or YouTube, thank you for being with us as well. So they're still trying to get some technical stuff going here, so that's why I'm vamping. Okay.
I got you.
We're going to begin on page 24 with Shalom Aleichem.
Randy, you want to start us off with a quote of some sort? No, Leonard Cohen.
We're not doing this. I don't, we might do this. I don't know if he's doing that or not.
Let's go.
I think it's C minor. It is. Ah, so nice to see you all. Shabbat Shalom. Let's let me just raise this up a little bit here. I think I should open my book up too, as long as we're. Lie, la, la, lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 la, lie, lie. Lie, 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 la, lie, lie. Lie, lie, lie. Ya, la, la, lie, lie. Lie, 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 la, lie, lie. Lie, 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 la, lie, lie. Lie, lie, lie. Page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet. Malchei, Malchei, Malchei Elyon. Bimelech, Bimelech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom. Malchei, Malchei, Malchei Elyon. Bimelech, Bimelech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom. Malchei, Malchei, Malchei Elyon. Bimelech, Bimelech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. HaKadosh, Baruch. Join me on the lies. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La la la. Seidchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom. Malchei, Malchei, Malchei Elyon. Bimelech, Bimelech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. One more time. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La la la.
So we're going to turn now to pages 2 and 3 in our books. as we kindle our Shabbat lights, let's. I'm okay here. We're worried about that. Let's read together at the top of page 3, and then we'll join on page 2. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Please rise, if you are able. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. I'm going to continue with Lecha Dodi in just a moment, pages 20 and 21. Before we do, we're going to take a few moments and think back on the week that has passed, to take a breath, to be present in this space, in this community. Spend a moment on each day, going back to last Shabbat, on its challenges and its blessings, and then we'll join in Lecha Dodi.
Hero.
Yehi or, let there be light.
Washington.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikabela, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikabela. Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, U'shmo echad, V'shemu tiferet v'litchila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikabela. Likrat Shabbat, Lechuven Elcha, Ki Mekor, Habaraka, Merosh Mikedem, Yisucha, Sabach Nesei B'Makshevat Chila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela It'oreri Kiva orech Kumi ori Shedaberi Kedor Adonai Alaich Nigla Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Kadodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lekadodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela.
Rise if you're able and face the parking lot to welcome the Shabbat presence into the congregation and into our hearts.
Oh, Ive Shalom, Ateret Bala, Kaham Simcha, Uvsola, Tochamunei, Am Segula, Voi Kala, Voi Allah Lechadodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Lekabela Lechadodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Lekabela.
Page 26, Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'almadi v'rachirutei v'yamlich malchutei.
V'chayechon u'vyom echon u'chayei l'chol Beit Israel. Bagala, bagala, u'bizman kariv ve'imeru. Amen.
Yehi Shemei Rabbah mivarach le'olam u'lamei almaya.
Yitbarach.
Yitbarach ve'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh V'yithadar v'yitaleh V'yitalam Shemei Dikudesha
Berechu.
Le'ela min kol birchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Ta'amiran bi'alma V'yimeru. Amen.
Page 28, Barhu are called to prayer.
Which one are we doing? Is it Aaron's?
Lai la 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 lai. Lai la 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 lai. Lai la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Last three lines in the Hebrew on page 30.
El Chai V'Kayam Tamidim L'Chaleinu L'Olam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai
Baruch Shmo.
Amarim Aravi.
Amen. Page 34 and 35 will continue with Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
Please be seated. Continue on page 37, and then we'll continue in the middle of 36 after that. Please join with me. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Emet. page 40, as we join in our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha.
Randy, you counting us off? Yeah, it's this. Wandover, are you gonna count us off? This is the Latino version.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ledar b'hakodesh, Torah tehilot, osei feleh, malechutecha ra'uvanecha, okei hayam, לפני משה ומרים, צאלי אנו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה לה לה, יאללה לה לה לה, יאללה לה לה לה, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, Adonai yimlok le'olam va'ed. ונאמר כי ודע אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני
Baruch uvruk shemo.
Israel.
Amen. Page 42. Hashkivenu, we ask, as the sun is going down and the light is diminishing, the Holy One to shelter us with a sukkot shalom, a shelter of peace, the ability to lie down with a sense of wholeness and to rise up with a sense of purpose each day.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom V'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim ufroz aleinu sukkot shlomecha ushmot tzedkeinu uvoenu ufroz aleinu sukkot shlomecha ushmot tzedkeinu uvoenu Ashkivenu
We give thanks for Shabbat. Join in singing Vishamru, page 44.
Vishamru b'nei Israel et HaShabbat Lasod et HaShabbat Lidorotam berit olam. One more time. Vishamru b'nei Israel et HaShabbat Lasod et HaShabbat Lidorotam berit olam. Beini uven b'nei Israel oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru b'nei Israel et HaShabbat lasod et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheishet yamim Asa Adonai, Asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, ve'shamru b'nei Israel, et hashabat asod, et hashabat lidorotam berit olam. U'ayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Veshamru b'nei Israel et HaShabbat lasod et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam.
Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We'll continue with our Amidah, with our Tefillah prayer beginning on page 46. And I invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
Oh, Shah, oh, Shah, oh, Shah, oh, Shah, oh, Shah, oh, Shah, oh, Shah. Oh, Shah, Adonai Svatai, Adonai, Sefatai Tifta, Ufi Yakim, Tehilatecha, Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Page 48.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu
Elohei
Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon. Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevi Geulah livnei bneihem, למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה.
50.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו בשעיני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
Page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai,
Shemo.
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please continue silently with the text of your own heart or the words of the prayer book through page 62, 63. When you're through, you may be seated. We're going to turn to page 253. As we hold in our minds and our hearts all of those in need of refuah, of healing, of body, of mind, of spirit, those that are part of our communal list and those who are in our own lives and the many communities that each of us is a part of. 253.
Mishaberach avotenu b'kor ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
We ask for blessings upon Rebecca Gilman, Bela Pasternak, Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Tobak, Paula Steinbach, Rosalind Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Gabrielle Silton, Pam Poliakoff, Connie Shapiro, Kathy Blumenfeld, Gloria Austin, Caitlin Antrim, Judith Bosworth, Kathy Brewster, Jennifer Rudin, Susan Gruer, Marion Snyders, Kimberly Zimmerman, Brad Holland, Beatrice Caden, Meg Silton, Kirby Perkins, Serena Postal, Bobby Kay, Marilyn Freeman, Robert Strober, Marilyn Lubarski, Joe Kummerman, Ira Quatcher, Ellery Einstein, Ken Mitchell, Patricia Kramer, Ann Hudson, Lois Goodman, Bavini Feldman, Neil Gerard, James Cecile, Jack Rogers, Esther Bespris, Joan Morse, Sasha Steinberger, Naomi Kravitz, Craig Sachs, and
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
well, on this second Shabbat of the month of July, but it is our first Shabbat that we are, at least many of us, in person here together. I know some are there as well in the online world, and thank you for being with us. We are also saying Toda Rabbah, thank you to Dina Benjamin, our now immediate past president. See, I say that, there's like a sigh of relief from Dina right there, right, when she said that. Our immediate past president. And so we're going to take a few minutes to say Toda. As all of you know, when certainly for all of us 2 years ago, when we're looking forward 2 years, we could never have imagined what this period would look like. I know that what was on Dina's list of things she wanted to focus on as president, and she had a list, because that's kind of, well, that's very Dina. She had a list. And navigating a pandemic wasn't on the list. It wasn't, not even low on the list. It wasn't there at all. And things come out sometimes very different than we had thought. But we were so blessed to have Dina at the helm. And I'll say more words in a moment, but I'm going to invite Laura Zuckerman, our new president at Temple Beth Israel, to share a few words.
Thank you. Stand at the mic.
Okay. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. I'm honored to be speaking to our fabulous Dina. So this is an ode to an extraordinary woman. Now, if an ode actually needs particular beats or pentameter, it's not an ode, it's just a tribute. Okay, so Dina, I've never known anyone who wore the mantle of great responsibility with such aplomb. Your unshakable belief in TBI and in the power of kindness and gratitude have held you and all of us in good stead during this turbulent time. I've never known anyone so generous with her hard-won knowledge and wisdom. Because of your profound empathy and unceasing ability to work, you helped prepare me for my term in every possible way. And I will do everything I can to be worthy of your efforts. I've never known anyone, nor have the rest of us, anyone so caring. Your heart and soul touches everyone in 100 different ways. You find the exact right way to help, to heal, to love. And if that were not enough, you are a dear friend and a shining light to all who know you. We all hold you in the highest esteem and with great affection. Thank you for everything you are and for everything you have done. Toda Rabah.
So I mentioned at the beginning that we wouldn't have guessed that the journey of the last 2 years was quite what it was. This week's Torah portion, well, the second of this week's Torah portions, because it's actually a double portion, which is Matot Maaseh. And it's the end of the book of Numbers, the very end of the book of Numbers. And in Maaseh, which is probably the most boring Torah portion in all of Torah, right? It is, they traveled from here to there, then they traveled from here to there, then they traveled from here to there. Then it's like recounts all the places that they've stopped, right? Because they're, going into the land. It's getting ready to go into the land, and it's recounting all the places. And you might say, like, what is this about? Why do I care, right? What is that? But I think a piece of that is that it's actually not only, it's not only about them entering the land, that the journey. And while the travelogue may have only been, they went from here to there, they camped there for a while, then they went from there to there, the hidden part of that is that there was a lot of learning that went on in every part of that journey, right? As they went from place to place, there was learning that went on. Certainly, sometimes it's not so clear when you look at the Israelites that they're learning because they keep doing the same things over and over again, but I think there is learning that goes on, and certainly for their leaders, there's a lot of learning in that process as well. So I couldn't have asked for a better sacred partner to navigate these last 18 months with. Dina was an amazing sacred partner before the pandemic as well, by the way, not just a pandemic partner, so to speak. But Dina's ability to we had so many things going on at once. All our things that were usually once a month meetings became once a week meetings. All the things that were, we had the executive committee met every week, the COVID committee met every week, this was going on, that was going on. Dina had a knack for organization, which I don't have, and enabled that to keep all of those things moving, right? Nudging the right people to, sometimes me and often others, to keep those things moving and many of those things happening on her own. And as the plate just kept growing because of all of this, that deep organizational skill was with us at absolutely a very important time as we went through. Part of a larger passage, but I'm going to share two pieces of a larger passage from Pirkei Avot. Ezehu hacham halomed mikol adam, who is wise, one who learns from all people. Dina is an amazing listener, and in doing that, Dina is continually learning. And there's no way to know how to handle what we went through leading this institution, but Dina heard from everybody, took in lots of perspectives, was able to be able to share, this is one thing I learned, this is another thing somebody else suggested, hey, somebody else said this, and we were able to hold all this information, sometimes conflicting information, always changing information, together, and be wiser in our process. Who is honored, says the end of the same passage in Pirkei Avot, one who honors others. Dina is masterful in her ability to honor others. Dina bought a whole bunch of thank you cards at the beginning of her presidency. She had to buy more because she ran out. Dina has an incredible ability to make sure that people are recognized for the work that they do and to give them, I think Laura kind of touched on this as well, to give a personal touch to that. And that's always important. But again, at this time that we felt even more disconnected from one another, I think it was especially important that people felt that somebody cared, that they appreciated what they had done, that they were reaching out in a personal way. So, Dina, I'm going to invite you to come up. You're not saying anything yet, but you can come up. You'll have your chance. Can I speak into this one, Paul, without it? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Sorry, we're getting feedback. So, try again? Good? Okay. Just go with it for a minute, he says. Okay. Just part of the way that things work, right? They're always changing. So, so Dina, you have made all of us wiser during this time because you have modeled really listening and reaching for consensus and bringing things together in important ways. And you have honored all of us through this time. And so we want to return that and just honor you and to say Toda Rabah for an incredible time that you've led this congregation. We talked about those journeys from Maaseh. There are probably pieces of each of those journeys that the Israelite, some of them probably when they talk about it, generations later and they're reading it, what happened when we went from there to there? Nobody remembers. But then there are other pieces of that journey along the way, and they go, oh yeah, now the sea split there. That was pretty cool, right? Or something else happened. This period of time will be one with a handful of others in our temple's history, and hopefully in our temple's future history as well, that will be important parts of the resilience of this temple community. And you modeled that resilience all the time. You modeled it with humility, with a sense of calm, and with a sense, not that you had the answers, but that you would work with us and we would find the answers together as we moved forward. And for that, we are also, although the Pirkei Avot phrase is a little bit different, it says Ezehu Ashir, Hasameach Bechol Kol, who is rich, one who finds contentment with what they have. I would just say that because of that leadership that you've left us, we are all enriched in this community. And we want to offer a blessing. We're going to offer this blessing twice tonight, but different melodies each time. So here we go.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Dina, may the Holy One always bless you and keep you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's presence shine into you and through you to others, and may God always be compassionate unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom.
May God and all that is good be present for you in your life. May you find wholeness in your heart, in your family, in this community that you've led so ably. And may you continue, as you have for so long, to join with others to bring our world closer to wholeness, to peace, to shalom. And we say together,
Amen.
so now, I don't know, who Benjamins? Who's coming up? All right, come on up.
Testing.
Want to turn on the center, Paul? Okay, now it's on.
Echoing everything that everyone has already said, you have done such a miraculous job as president. Therefore, as a tribute to you and your incredible presidency, Laurel and I have written you the following song parody. Just kidding.
In all seriousness, in celebration of everything you have accomplished, we have compiled a book of memories, thank yous, and reflections on your presidency from your friends on the TBI board, staff, various committees, previous presidents, and beyond. Let this be a tangible recognition of all that you have done for this community. From all of us, we want to say, Toda Rabah.
get your thing and come back.
Wow. I have to regroup here. I want to thank everyone here for coming tonight and for allowing me a few brief moments for reflection and some well-deserved thank yous. This was the year that I found my why. According to author Simon Sinek, the why is the purpose, the cause, or the belief that drives every one of us. It's the reason we go to work every day. It's the reason we get married, it's the reason we have children, and it's the reason we join organizations. This year, I realized my why. 2 years ago, I asked myself, why take on this enormous role of running a nonprofit religious organization with little experience? Why stick with it during the most challenging of times in a pandemic? Why was it all, in the end, worthwhile? My why is based on 3 things. Our congregants, all of you, all of our members, our leaders, our past presidents, our Jewish community. You showed me over and over again this year that you are caring, compassionate, and committed individuals. I stay with and support TBI because of every act of caring. I love that they all embody and demonstrate our Jewish values. 2, our mission statement. Do you know TBI's mission statement? It says we are a welcoming, inclusive Jewish community, creating lives of meaning and striving to bring healing to the world. I stay with and support TBI because I believe every word of that mission statement, and I believe that with every program, every event, every religious service, we work toward making it a reality together. And our future. 3rd, I didn't grow up at TBI. I grew up at a conservative synagogue in Brooklyn, as many of you know. It shaped much of my Jewish identity. And then TBI shaped the rest. And then TBI shaped my children's Jewish identities. When I took my daughter to see my old synagogue in New York a few years ago, I was just saddened to discover it no longer exists. Because of a declining Jewish population in that neighborhood, it simply could not sustain itself. I stay with and support TBI because I want my children to be able to come back here and visit TBI with their kids. I want them to say, this place shaped who I am and what I believe. I want to take a minute to thank many people who helped me navigate this very challenging term. First of all, the clergy and all of our dedicated staff. With 17 and 18 years of tenure at TBI, both Cantor Paul and Rabbi Jonathan helped keep me on track and grounded. They offered wisdom and kindness, and they helped me believe that we could manage the difficult times together. Our board of trustees, this group of dedicated individuals gave an amazing amount of time and energy to ensure that all of the decisions and budgets and policies that we made were made with careful thought and lengthy discussion. Number 3, Laura Zuckerman. This wonderful woman, our new president, showed exemplary leadership last year by helping higher education directors, sending off our beloved director, Deborah Pruitt, into retirement, and transitioning our preschool into a brand new space, the Tree of Life Children's Center, expertly guiding us through many challenging decisions. I've seen her first week of work, and I'm already sure that she's going to be amazing. The COVID-19 task force. This team of leaders helped ensure the safety of our congregation, managing ever-changing state and county guidelines and drafting consistent reopening plans, meeting every week and keeping our members informed. Our volunteers and lay leaders. I applaud every one of you, and that's pretty much every one of you in this crowd, who gives of your time and your resources to make our temple a warm and welcoming spiritual home for everyone. Special thanks to our dedicated congregant callers who've been regularly checking in on our members throughout the pandemic. Our congregants, I thank you, everyone who shows up at our services, who helps out in our office, who gets our newsletter out, who comes to Torah study, Beit Midrash Minyan, adult Jewish learning classes, Brotherhood, Women of TBI, and anyone who considers TBI their Jewish home. But perhaps most importantly, my family. I simply could not have made it through this year without the support of my parents, my mother-in-law, my siblings, but most especially my two wonderful daughters, Laurel and Ariel, and my husband, Art. They offered me praise and patience, support, and a shoulder to lean on. They listened and they loved. I thank them all for believing in me and just being there for me. I thank everyone who put together this special Shabbat service, and I thank you, our congregation, for your faith in me as your leader these past 2 years. I'm honored to have had the opportunity to find my why right here at TBI, my second home. Shabbat Shalom.
So it is also a birthday month. It's the first time we're actually celebrating birthdays in person. So if you have a birthday in the month of July, I'm not going to have you walk over wires and stuff like that, but you can gather right here. So if you have a birthday in the month of July, we'll come on up. And Cantor Paul, sing us up.
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. One more time. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
So we wish for all of you not only a happy birthday, whether it already took place or whether it's going to take place. Jerry, I'm talking. Come on. No, just kidding, Jerry. So whether it is whether it's already taken place or whether it's going to take place, I'm can't walk further, so it's okay. It's fine. That's why I'm standing kind of sideways here. But most importantly, that this year for you was a year of health, a year of connection to community, a year of growth of spirit, and a year of love and a year of blessing. So I said to Dina we were going to offer the priestly blessing with two different melodies today because we're going to offer it to you as well. So offer each of you a blessing for this birthday and for this year.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's presence shine into you and through you to others, and may God be compassionate unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May all that is good and the Holy One be present in your life, and may you find that sense of shlemut, of wholeness, in your heart and in your families and in your community, and may we bring this world closer to shalom. We all say together, Amen. And we actually have birthday pencils for you, which we haven't had for 18 months, so hold on.
One more time, everybody join me. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
So today, this Shabbat is Rosh Chodesh Av, a new month. So a brief blessing for the new month. Our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, prosperity, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good. And of course, on the Hebrew calendar, it also means 2 months to Rosh Hashanah. Right, that's really what it means, because Av and Elul and then Rosh Hashanah. So here we go. Yes.
Rosh Chodesh Av Hu Hayom.
The new month of Av begins today. And I'd like to invite Laura back up to share a few quick announcements.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom again. I don't know how you all are doing. I'm a little verklempt. So, first of all, a real thank you for leading us in such a lovely service, and to Cantor Paul for leading us and for assembling these wonderful musicians. Oh, sorry. For these wonderful musicians. Randy Polavoy, as always, with wonderful music. And forgive me if I mispronounce their names. Clarinet, Jay Roush. Flute, Dana Sundin. Drums and percussion, Ariel Espinoza. I'm sorry, Espinoza. I told you I was verklempt.
Right next time.
Yeah, sorry. And our extra help for tech support, Paul?
Oh yeah, Claudia Gonzalez.
Claudia Gonzalez. Okay, thank you, and thank you. Forgive me. Okay, so many, many wonderful things are happening this July at our synagogue, and we'd love you to join us if you're not already planning to. Tomorrow night is a very special night right where you are sitting. Our wonderful group, the women of TBI, are going to be in person together for the first time because they were formed under Candy Fisher's great leadership during the pandemic. And there will be a Rosh Chodesh celebration. Tammy Schneider played a big role in getting this together, and we are all very excited to be together, to dance, to pray, to eat out here. 6:30 to 8:15. Even if you haven't signed up, bring your lawn chair and your legs and come on. So it'll be great. Secondly, this month starts our second annual Zoom Film Club. I like to call it a film festival. The first film is Footnote. You'll watch it on your own, and it will be discussed on Thursday night, July 15th at 7 p.m. Footnote. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. Look it up. You'll love it. And then just finally, you can find all the details about these events and more on your TBI update and your Kahila and our website. So thank you very much, and Shabbat Shalom.
As we move toward the end of our service, I just want to thank our crew who's helped before and is helping now to put out oneg food and help cut up stuff. And before, I don't know who the whole crew is, but I know that that's Phyllis there, and Judy Rose, and Sharon. So a number of folk when they're all out there, but just say thank you when we're there. It takes, it doesn't just appear. There's people who make these things happen, and are very appreciative of that as we move forward.
So our next Shabbat Tachat HaShamayim, our Shabbat under the stars, right here on the Great Lawn, will be 2 weeks from tonight, 23rd of July. In between, we will, of course, be online for our Shabbat family service and for our regular Shabbat service on Facebook and YouTube. Look for all those details, and looking forward to August when we will hopefully be able to alternate with outdoor here on the lawn and indoor in our sanctuary as we get ready for High Holy Days, which are coming up.
2 Hebrew months. There we go. Okay. So we're going to move to a conclusion with Aleinu L'Shabeach. I invite you, if you're able to, please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Page 294. We take a moment to remember those who have been important in our lives and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. We remember the recent death of Herman Geller, of Sali Saul, brother of Simon Saul, of Miguel Angel Sancho II, father of Victoria Lobos, of Ed Ansel, husband of Hannah. We remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Abraham Cohen, Lillian Dolfman, Colbert Harmon, Martin Krentzman, Irving Lang, Joe Mack, Jerome Seltzer, Mala Schulman, Jack Strausberg, Max Blank, Florence Brewert, Eugene Jean Bryan, Betty Brodsky, Isaac Cohen, Pauline Dubois, Michael Goodman, Zella Greenfield, Abraham Sender Grosswert, Martin Katz, Leon Kornhauser, Ronald Sachs, Melvin Schweitzer, Sid Shano, Shirley Singer, Saul Altman, Robert Dakey, David Goldstein, Claire Gutman, Joe Jacobson, Harold Landau, Irving Levine, Marta Silton Friedberg, Elsie Waldman, Victor Lemberger, Bill Mayer, Ben Moschel, Juan Winograd, Josefina Contreras, Larry Geffen, Hal Goldman, Mildred Goldstein, Judith Handelsman, Sidney Shaw, Irene Sewell, Robert Sussman, Sheila Bishansky, Ron Fink, Marilyn Hendricks, John Maloney Jr., and William Marks. If you have a name that you'd like to add to those that I've already mentioned, please feel free to mention it as I come by your row.
All the confirmed victims of the tragedy in Florida.
Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Israel, v'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach l'olam u'le'mei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dukudasha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata dami rambi alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing.
Beata?
We conclude with Biado. After we're done, a little different than in the sanctuary, if possible, bring your books back to the cart. Nobody that will hurt themselves, but people who won't hurt themselves, if you're able to help put chairs in, let's say, stacks of like 3 or 4, then Greg has to lift them, so we don't want to do stacks of 8. It's a little heavy. To make it a little easier for him as we go over for our own egg on the other side.
Right, and we'll be saying Lehitra Od Shalom to our Zoom participants after we conclude with Be'ado. Just want to do one more Yasher Koach to our wonderful accompanist Randy Polvoy, who begins his 25th year at Temple Beth Israel. Let's all say Toda Rabbah. We look forward to a real celebration with you in the coming months, but just want to acknowledge that 25 years that's a long time. Be'ado. Be'ado of Kidruchi, Be'erishan ve'a'ira, Ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li velo ira, Ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li velo ira.
My soul I give to you.
My soul I give to you.
My spirit in your care.
My spirit in your care.
Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Draw me near, I shall
Hold
not
me in your
fear.
hand.
Hold me in your hand.
Draw me near.
Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Safely in your hand.
Safely in your hand.
My soul I give to you.
Be'ado.
My soul I give to you. My spirit in your care. My spirit in your care. Draw me near. Draw me near. I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near. I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. Be'ado
My soul I give to you. My
Be'ado av kidruchi be'tishan ve'ayra. Be'tishan ve'ayra ve'imruchi. Ve'imruchi geviati. Adonai li velo ira. Ve'imruchi geviati. Adonai li velo ira. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.